I'm the Bigglesworth, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Along with Piggy. Now we are starting off over here at the tree farm where we left off, because I just wanted to take a look at this place again. I can't get enough of it. Between all the winter wonderland, just finally seeing this build finished makes me so happy. I love it. Just take a hop up here, because I wanted to see what this spot looked like from far away with trees. And since it's just you, buddy, it's just you and me and not you and all your friends, yeah, I can deal with you. Let's go ahead and hop over here. One of these days, we're going to have cooked Piggy, so I need to stay away from here. Or I need to scoop out the lava. There we go. Check that out. So that looks like a proper tree farm. Nice tree farm. Ready to go. Ready. Oh, and you guys stay down there because we will need to collect you at some point and make a cow farm. But I had gotten to looking at the layout of the buildings. Like we've got the tree farm here. We've got the crane loading up just raw wood to get sent off. And eventually I'm going to make like a tree nursery over here. We're going to have trees growing and some buildings and maybe a place or two where the lumberjacks, like they chop all the branches off so that it's just the main trunk of the tree. So that way it would make sense why this crane would be picking up just a trunk and would be putting it there or be dropping some trees down here. And you just stay down there, buddy. So, and remember the logic behind all this. The logs get chopped over here. They can either be sent on the train off to where the port is eventually going to be, or they get dropped down here and get sent through the sawmill to be turned into planks to be used for building and other things. Now, I want at some point to build a wall around this area to kind of enclose it in, make it feel like an official business. But I wanted to wait till I got some more builds going because I needed to get a good feel for what the area was going to be like and where these walls should go. Now, you can see these fence posts. You're probably like, what in the world is these fence posts about? Well, these fence posts are not about where the wall's going to go, believe it or not. What I was doing was laying out fence posts and just trying to get a feel for what would it be like if this is where the official road was. Have like a main road that goes over to the mining farm. The road kind of comes through here and skirts the outside of the sawmill and all that stuff and makes its way over to this side of the tree farm. Now, through most of the series, I've been just cutting through here and going up to that side of the tree farm, but I got to thinking about it. Okay, if we have a whole lumber industry set up over here, and we have a tree nursery set up over there, more than likely, passerbys would be taking the main road on this side, and this left side of the tree farm would be the actual entrance. You would go through the tree farm and get into the nursery and all the stuff there. Now, over at this side of the, what do we call this? The sawmill or the gear house. Stuff my face with food. I tell you what, potatoes are great now that we get them for free. We don't have to harvest them anymore. But they do mess with your saturation. You get hungry very quick. So, potatoes are great, but we're going to have to look for some more sustaining food. Maybe some golden carrots in the future, and maybe some mutton or some beef. But see, I've got this little walkway right here, this path. And every time I come through here, I try to think about what would I use this for? What would this be? How would we set this up? And here's what I'm thinking. Okay? I'm going to have the main road come through here like this. This is going to be a side road. And we're going to build some kind of a gate or an archway right here and a little house like a guard house. So if you, let's say you're coming to work, maybe you live over in the mining town, but you work at the sawmill. So you would come to work every day. You would come through this main gate. You would check in at the guardhouse, and then you would come through here. And this way you could get to the gear house if you worked here. You could drive the forklift, or you could work the sawmill, or maybe you work the crane. Or maybe you're just a lumberjack, and you're okay. Sleeping all night and working all day. So that's kind of the plan. That's what the plan my brain has formulated. But like I said, I'm just trying to get a general consensus of where this road needs to go. Now, I want to wall in this area. I'm going to build a wall somewhere right in here. It's going to come to this point. And I'm not so sure I'm going to have it diagonal. I haven't really worked out a way to do a diagonal wall yet. They can be tricky. Diagonal builds can be real tricky. But some kind of a wall that comes in here and maybe encompasses a lot of this area, because I still want to put something here where all these planks are going to go. A staging area for a pile of logs, and maybe a little house for the forklift, like a maintenance shop or something like that. A bunch of things. I have a bunch of different ideas I want to put in here. So the wall's probably going to come to this point. But the problem was, as I was laying out the road, I started to notice I don't have a lot of land here. Don't have a lot of area to work with. And so I got to thinking about it. I'm like, you know what I need to do? I need to extend this dirt. I need to extend this ground and bring it out. I don't know, maybe just somewhere around right here. See all these little empty spots where I'm getting clay. But maybe just build it out to this spot. So we're going to extend the river a little bit that comes from the water wheel. And I may build out this ground area right here as well. So it's going to shrink this pond a little bit, but that's fine because I want this to feel more like a river than a pond. And I notice it stops right here, and I think at some point we're probably going to dig it out. So what we could do is we could actually ride a boat all the way from the port, from the ocean, all the way through here, and make it all the way over here if we wanted to. You know, just all these different cool options of how we want to travel. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build out some of this ground. I'm going to do a little bit of landscaping and just kind of expand it a little bit and work on getting a better feel for where we want the road to go. And maybe we're going to work on like a little bridge connecting the two pieces of ground so that we can make it over the water. And it'd be all good. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go get myself... Oh, I do have myself. Got plenty of cobble, so we can like backfill the ground if we need to, and then we'll touch it off with dirt. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cover in this area. Now that I've explained to you what my mentality is, what it is I'm thinking. Fill all this area in, and then I'll bring you back and show you what the new landscape looks like. So I'll be right back. All right, everybody. So I run over here and gather some of this stuff, and I do need to put up these rails. I have a feeling more rails are going to end up in here because they're kind of in my way. And you know what? Come on, Foxy. You, sir, need to go for a walk. Y'all have not been for a walk in a while, so I'm going to take Foxy with me. Maybe he can protect me. Huh, that's an ominous sound. I hope that doesn't mean anything bad. All right, Foxy, so you're on patrol, buddy. So this is what I've done. I went through and I'm going to make a 3-wide trail. Just like, come here, buddy. You. There we go. String, and XP. Come on, Foxy. You're slacking on. Well, you're a puppy. Okay, so you're still learning. See that? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to smack those spiders. Do you like food? You sure do. There you go. Okay. So with the 3-wide road, I went ahead and I traced what I would want the middle road to look like. Coming down here. And I didn't stick completely to the fence posts. I'm going to have to build some of this road up right in here. And I see a skeleton hiding. Foxy, come on, buddy. There you go. You're supposed to get him just like that, see? So you're out here having a snack, and I'm teaching you how to hunt. Okay, so, and I've got the road kind of trailing off over here. Rails are still in the way. We'll pull up the rails pretty soon. I just want to get a couple of more villagers over at the farm over there. But I went ahead and I lowered some of the ground right here because we're going to put a wall here. And I've got the road coming over to this point and then stopping right here. Now, what I've done is I've challenged myself to come up with, I'm always building, big, totally huge, gigantic builds everywhere. So I gave myself a challenge. I'm like, all right, buddy, you've got 9 blocks right here that you have to build a bridge. You have to come up with a very nice looking bridge, but it must be very simple and it must be very small. And I think I've done that. I think I've succeeded in coming up with an interesting bridge design. Come on, Foxy, over here. So, and you can see I have filled up a whole bunch of cobble just to build up this area. But now we've got a nice little stream going. Come on, get out of the water. It's really cold, buddy. There you go. Don't need to get you catching a cold. And, yep. So I've got it kind of built up in here, and it's got a little bit more of a river feel. Wow, that really drops off right there. I never noticed that. That's pretty deep. Just curving over this way. So what I'm going to have to do is I have gotten myself gravel, half slabs, and cobble, and mossy cobble. And I'm going to go back through, and I'm going to fill this in randomly, just like we have over there at the miners area. Went ahead and built this hill up a little bit too. So it looks a little more natural, and you can see the grass hasn't spread. Now what's really awesome about this pack is the grass is textured to look like snow, and I don't have any with me. I was going to say, if you place a torch down, it won't melt. So it's pretty cool. That was a little annoying. Sometimes the snow will melt on you. But we're going to have the road come over here, and the road is eventually going to make its way up here to access the tree farm here, or to go over there to where we're eventually going to do our farmer's market. And you, sir, are stuck on the rails. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to pop a few of these down here so I can say I did something. And I've only got one dirt. Huh, I'm going to have to get some more dirt. Well, that's no good. We'll just go through and do like this. And this is kind of what I like to do, is just, it's a feeling. It's more of a feel than anything else. You're just kind of randomly placing stuff down. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. What I found is, if you try to reason your way through it, that's when you end up with patterns, and you kind of, mess up the whole point to everything. I got to watch this, because I do want it to look a little worn. What I might end up doing is making this area a solid 3-block path, because over there we've kind of got it where it's a little bit worn looking, like certain spots are missing. I don't know. I'll fiddle with it. I'm going to go ahead and dig out the rest of these sides and finish filling this in. And then I'm going to meet you over there. Where'd it go? Right there. And we're going to get started on today's actual project, which is a small but decorative and functional bridge. So Foxy's going to watch my back. I'm going to finish up this road, and I'll bring you back, and we'll start working on the bridge. All right, everybody. Here is the path, and I know nothing glamorous or great, but it's just a path. But I still like it. It's like we finally have a definite road, a definite path we need to go on. I'm going to be honest with you. Forcing myself to take this road instead of cutting through is going to take some getting used to. I may have to get some horses, because coming this way seems like the long way, and having a horse might be nice to be able to get through here quicker. But I'm also trying to consider like fences or lampposts, something like that, something to make it look a little bit nicer. And this is weird. This really gets me. Notice how the lighting's a little different? Look, see how it says biome forest? And watch, as I get over here and it gets lighter, it's plains. So it really messes with me. It almost makes me think like there's a big cloud overhead or something like that. So right here is where we're going to put the bridge. And I know what you're saying. Piggy, you already built the bridge. What's the deal, buddy? Well, what I did was I came up with this design off camera and in a creative world. And so I went ahead and I built this half, this side, because it was getting kind of difficult to remember. I was having a hard time remembering, and I wanted to make sure that I could do it right on camera, do it justice. So I went ahead and did that, and I figured we would just assemble the rest of it on camera like this. And I think what I'm going to do is the same thing that we did over there. See how we've got the alternating stairs and the alternating half slabs? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to build this normal. And then after I'm done building it normal, then we'll come back and we're going to kind of just randomly, didn't want to randomly do that. Just like randomly swap out some of the materials just to make it look a little more weathered, because I'm starting to like that style. Instead of just focusing on shape, also trying to make sure that you consider like that the world looks lived in, that it looks like it's been here for a while. And I'm just, let's see, that, we'll put a temporary block here. And how did those stairs go? So those stairs are like that. And then these are like, nope. I don't know if I'm ever going to get the hang of stairs. It's like I always have to remind myself, you aim, there we go. Aim correctly, young Piggy. And then we'll come up here, under here and do this. And these are going to be the supports for the legs. We'll come back in a little bit and we'll get those. There we go. Smack that out of there. And since I'm over here, we might as well go ahead and do this as well. And these place a little bit easier. You just can aim right there at the fence post and be done with it. There we go. And how was that? That is with an upside down stair there. So let's go ahead and do this. And this is where dummy blocks come in handy. Always got the dummy blocks ready to go, just for scaffolding and other stuff. Now I've seen a lot of people use many different blocks for scaffolding. See how easy that was to get rid of? To me, dirt is like the best scaffolding ever. Because if you have a decent shovel, you can get rid of scaffolding so fast. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. A little tricky trying to do it while we're bobbing up and down like that. 1, 2, 3. And I don't know if I can get the stairs to go upside. Okay, cool. Woohoo! It worked. Put 2 blocks like that. Get rid of that dummy block. And see, even if we're having to swim, it's still easy to get rid of that block. Time this correctly. Swim. Or not. Let's just do this. We'll go and do this. Now, another cool thing that I've seen people do for scaffolding is using gravel. So, like, say you've got a pillar up really high up in the sky, and when you jump down, maybe you've got an ender pearl or you've got some water you can land in, and you don't want to have to tear down all of the dirt. You know, normally you would pillar up with dirt or something like that. Well, you can use gravel and you can use sand. See if I can do this and do this while I'm trying to talk at the same time. How did I have this? Okay, this was... Yeah, I wanted it to feel like the platform was just a little bit lower than the rails. But yeah, what I was saying is if you use sand or gravel, once you're done, does that go to there? That goes to there. Okay. See what I mean? Building on camera. Sometimes building off camera, I'm doing this. I'm like, wait, that went there. No, that went there. How did that go there? What is that? But yeah, okay, Piggy, get to the point, buddy. Say what you're trying to say. So if you use not stairs, if you use sand or you use gravel for your scaffolding, when you get down to the ground, you can break that first block and quickly place a torch underneath it, and all the scaffolding will come falling down, and the torch will break it into blocks for you, and you don't have to dig it out. So it's a huge, huge time saver. So we'll go and do this, and I think it was 1 step up here, and we'll go ahead and do this, and that's going to be 1 step up there. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when I do that, see how it breaks? But since we've already got... Uh-oh! That needed to stay there. Then we break that. That's the order of events. Then we can do that. And there we go. We're almost scot-free. We've almost got this thing figured out. That would go like that. And what goes right there? A half slab. Boop. Just like that. And then right underneath here was going to be our legs. And I haven't really decided what I wanted to do with this. Probably we could just do a simple like that. Make it just look like a beam. And is Piggy going to drown? Don't want to drown. And then we'll just come back and add the weathered blocks in a second. You break. You get out of here. So, and don't get stuck under the water. I think that's it. I think that's the bridge. Did we do it? Did we build it on camera? We sure did. All right, so now that we've got that... Uh-oh, I didn't get enough stairs, did I? I got 1 stair, so we got 1 weathering opportunity. All right, let's go and just do this right here since I'm looking at it. Look at me. Come here. Do like that. And we'll break that and break that. Swap those out like that. And see, I love that. It just gives that weathered, used look. See, it just breaks up the pattern a little bit. We'll come over here. See? Just, it's been there for a little while. It's not as young as we would like it to be. So, come here, you. I'm going to have to go get some more cobble stairs, I believe, just so I can finish this off, because this is going to drive me nuts. I want to have that completed, but I'll do that off camera. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera and fix it. But this is going to be today's build, and I know this episode has been kind of meh, not as like upbeat as some of the others. But this was a project that really needed to be done, and one of the things that I've always wanted to do with this show is to show you everything that I do. Now, I don't like the way this looks. What I may do is come back and dig this out just a touch, because it doesn't feel like the bridge should be that long. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Break some of this, and then we'll just start turning. Uh-oh, you can see the cobble. And I'll fix that too, but there we go. I want you to see what I mean about the shape. And you got to be brave. You've got to be brave. If you feel like something doesn't look right, go ahead and change it. Mess with it. See what that looks like? That looks a whole lot better. Let's go ahead and get that a little bit more natural curve to it. You, son. Yeah. Well, guess what, son? We're almost done with the episode, so you go down. So that works. That's a little bit better. And I think, uh-oh, not that. I think what I'll do is I will come back and I will trim that just a little bit, but I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to trim that. I'm going to go ahead and swap out a few more blocks, but I want you to build yourself a very small little bridge. Try and challenge yourself to come up with something very small, but very decorative, something really cool. And then I want you to take pictures of it and send it to me on Twitter. And do not worry if you think that, your builds are super awesome or they're beginner. It doesn't matter. Any platform, any type of Minecraft will do. You can even do it in creative if you want. And we're going to test this bridge. I need to test this bridge and make sure it's going to hold up under Piggy's weight. That is so cool. We're just going to sit here on the bridge, watch the moon rise. I love it. So don't forget to make your build and send it to me on Twitter so I can tweet it out so everybody can see it. I'm going to get to finishing off a few more of these blocks, and I will see you in the next episode.